This episode of Sessions with Stef is brought to you by our partner, Fearless Sounds. Francesca Sacerdoti, along with her amazing team, take care of every artist's needs when it comes to marketing, playlist placement, advertising, and artist management. You can follow Fearless Sounds on Instagram and Facebook, or just give them a call at 514-409-6061. Thank you, Francesca, and thank you, Fearless Sounds. And now, we present to you our latest session with Stef.
Hi, my name is Stef, and I'm an endorser for Grappa de Negri. No, I'm totally kidding. This is Sessions with Stef, guys. Thank you so much. I'm starting with the bottle in my hand because that's what I do. I'd like to say thanks, everyone. You guys hear the guitar, you see the guitar. You're already excited as to what's going to happen soon because we have an amazing guest. And I'm going to introduce him soon. But first, the token drink for Sessions with Stef. Listen to the beautiful guitar. This is a treat. Guys, welcome to Sessions with Stef. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for listening if you're on Spotify or Apple Podcasts and all of that. I love doing this podcast. It's a music podcast. Well, it's a musician's podcast, but it's for everybody. Everyone can listen. Everyone can watch. You'll learn something. You learn about the inside scoop of musicians, of singers, of guitar players, of what goes into making a video. What goes into gigs. Like we have some lives. We have all kinds of different types of interviews, people, characters. We've had violin players. We've had singers, all of it, you know. Guitar, I got to have a drummer. That's coming up. But we've had bands on, 3-piece bands, 4-piece bands. So guys, check it out. Subscribe to Sessions with Stef. We're also on Spotify, Apple Podcast, Amazon Music. Then there's our sister podcast, which is Let's Talk It Out with Lisa and Francesca. Hi, Lisa.
Hello.
How's it going?
Very good.
Awesome. She's the voice of reason behind the mic there. She makes sure I keep a straight path going on in this podcast.
Only on the podcast.
Only on the podcast. Yes, that's right. So thanks, Lisa, for being here. We're also at the Emerge Lab here, which is my best buddy, M. Love him. He's going to be the father of my child when I die. That's what I heard. It's an inside joke, but it's literally true. My son did tell me, this was last week, dude, if ever you die and something happens to you or whatever, I'm going to ask M to be my dad. Like,
there you go.
To make sure everything, I'm okay. Why are you laughing?
Because I can't take on it.
It's totally true. But honestly, M is amazing. This is his art lab. You can see pieces of his art here that he does, and he does amazing work. You should check him out. Emerge _3 on Instagram. Amazing stuff. M .3, not underscore. Who's underscore? Okay, Emerge.3. Yes, on Instagram. Check him out. Emil Vidmar, amazing guys. He's awesome. He lets us use this place because he's that kind of a nice guy, and we really appreciate it. Also, now we're gonna have to get into the sponsors. So let me get out of this. But before I do the sponsors, I need to have a drink first.
Sure. All right.
Here's
Let's
my
have
one token drink.
the one token drink. This is my one token drinking hour. Cheers.
There you go.
Oh, that is good. So, guys, we have new sponsors this week, which is fantastic. We're so glad. We love when they come. It motivates us even more. I love doing this podcast, but when we have sponsors, it's even more motivating, right, Lee? Right?
Oh, yeah. No,
Yeah, we
seriously.
love it, right?
I love it. Yeah.
So, guys, this is fantastic. I actually know these guys. I used to see them all the time. Club Omo, Saint Leonard, on Jean Talon. The address is 5692 Jean Talon Est. Guys, I used to go there all the time. I used to actually deliver the mail there, believe it or not. And I used to see them all the time. Fantastic quality. I actually bought shirts and jackets and stuff like that. They have suits, jackets, men's formal wear, guys. Fantastic. Beautiful shirts. Quality and service is fantastic. And actually, in the band I played with, that I still play with, they at one point they sponsored us for like over a whole season with jackets for the whole
Nice.
band. It was
That's
beautiful.
really cool.
Blue jackets. They're fantastic. Club Omo, guys, you gotta go see them. They're on Instagram at Club Omo _Montreal. Check it out. You can call them at 514-252-9922. Club Omo Clothing for Men. Fantastic, guys. Go check them out. It's really sharp stuff, nice stuff, great service. Yeah, follow them on Instagram. They actually did renovations, and it looks beautiful. They're reopening the store, and it's amazing. Check out Club Omo. Also, thanks for sponsoring, guys. Our next sponsor is Exclusive Auto Repair, guys. They're based in Toronto, so all you Toronto people that watch Sessions with Stef and Let's Talk It Out, of course. Exclusive Auto Repair. Vito, super guy. He's sponsored us in the past, and guys, they work on European cars. That's what the specialty is, European and import cars. Amazing mechanics. They do all sorts of work on these cars. I can't go into the nitty gritty as to exactly what they do, but they do specialize in European.
You have to call Vito.
You'd have to call Vito, yes, which we are going to give the number. We'd like to thank Vito for sponsoring here and give them, if you're in the Toronto area, even if you're in the Montreal area, it might be worth it to go see them. They're awesome. But guys, Vito, Exclusive Auto Repair. He's located 90 Termine Drive in Toronto, Ontario. They've been open since 1990. Once again, they specialize in European import cars. So, guys, check them out. Get your stuff.
Unit 18.
Unit 18. Did I miss that? How come it's not on my? It's not on my.
But it's on mine.
Okay, so
90 Turbine Drive, Unit 18.
In Unit 18. You can also give them a call. 416-748-5666. Call Vito. Once again, Exclusive Auto Repair, guys. It's fantastic. Check them out. Thank you for sponsoring. And now we're going to get to the interview part, the discussion. I don't like to call it an interview because honestly, let's face it, I have no fucking clue what I'm doing when it comes to interviewing. I don't do interviewing. I just have conversations with buddies, with friends. Sometimes they're not friends, and we meet on the podcast, and I love that. I love it. We've kind of known each other for a while, but I don't think we ever sat down and had a chat like this.
No, not really.
This is going to be interesting. This is going to be fun. You recently released a new video?
Yeah.
Which is amazing. I saw it. I heard the song is fantastic. The video is great. You guys are going to check it out. Please welcome Mario Biferali, singer, songwriter, guitar player extraordinaire.
Thanks for having me, man.
Anything else under that hat? What else? Singer, songwriter, guitar player. What else?
That's about it.
I don't know. I don't know. Producer, I would imagine. Like, I'm sure you had a lot to do with the song.
Well, you write them. You try to imagine them. How you want them to sound, and you try to get as close as possible. So maybe.
Yeah, I'm sure it's there. I'm sure it's there. Mario Biferali, guys.
Thanks for having me.
He's fantastic, amazing guitar player. He does it all. So let's talk. How have you been, first of all? Because you've been on the podcast 3 times, I believe.
I know, it's crazy, yeah.
But never for Mario, right?
That's right.
He's the guy that everyone calls. I need a guitar player to accompany me, and Mario's always there.
Yeah, so I was on with Mimo at first, with Mimo's after show. That was cool.
Yeah.
And then Frank and Ray had me on playing some guitar for the Skirts.
For the Skirts.
And that was really cool.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, well, you know what? I had a good run, and then you called me, so I'm like,
now it's time. Now
there
it's
you
time
go.
for you, right? It's gotta happen. Hey, Francesca.
So I just waved at somebody. Yeah.
Francesca is Fearless Sounds. Which you saw her at as well. Fearless Sounds. Hi, Francesca. How are you? Good. She's all shy now all of a sudden. I don't know what happened. So, guys.
So thanks for having me again.
Thank you so much for doing this. This is fantastic. And I'm glad you needed it. It had to be you this time, right? Because you played for everybody, but now it's you. Let's talk about your stuff. How long have you been playing guitar?
Since I was literally a kid. Like probably my first guitar was when I was 11 years old. My dad brought me actually there's a crazy story. My one of my uncles gave me this guitar he just found in his house that he had bought with an amp. And I wish I still had that amp because it was a Garnet amp, which now were very sought after.
Wow.
But I remember every time I would plug it in, it would actually give me a shock. It was like you get a little buzz going, I remember, but then my dad bought me a classical guitar, and back then I remember I had a classical guitar, but I wanted an electric guitar. And but then I heard Randy Rhoads, there was his classical piece called D.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh my God, this is cool. So I really got into that, cool. And then eventually electric and all that kind of stuff,
Super cool.
So so by the time I was 13, I was like super into it. I'd literally that's all I would do. I wasn't into sports, and I wasn't a tough guy, So in school also it was weird because it was like I didn't really fit in the cool guys or the sports guys.
Right in the middle.
So I was like, okay, I'll just stick to my guitar. So that kind of kept me out of trouble.
That's good. But you know what? The minute you're a musician in school, you're kind of a cool guy anyways.
That's right.
I
Yeah.
think so.
That's
I think so.
Eventually, you're like, wait a minute, this could work for me.
Yeah. You know what's funny? I went to high school with Sam Roberts.
Okay.
You know,
Cool. Of
singer.
course. Yeah.
I had no idea he was a singer, believe it or not. Like, we graduated, we were friends.
Yeah.
We graduate, and I'm trying to get him on the podcast. But
Yeah. You should.
yeah, I will.
Yeah, he's awesome.
Hopefully. But
Absolutely.
it's funny, like, 5
Yeah.
years later after we graduate, I'm like, this guy's on show. Sam, no, it can't be the same guy. I didn't even know he sang.
Yeah.
He's
Yeah.
Great.
It's
Anyway,
great. There's a lot of talent in Montreal,
There
man.
is,
A lot
there
of like
is.
all over, but I find
and
Montreal
you're
has a
all
lot.
over. You go everywhere, right? You see musicians.
Yeah,
all over.
yeah. Because of my day job, I've done artist relations, and I deal with artists all day long, for Godin Guitars.
Yeah.
So yeah, I've been lucky enough to be in some of the most beautiful studios in the world, and that's really cool. But at the end of the day, it doesn't matter who you're talking with. I find that the commonality is music, and it's crazy because sometimes you're sitting with these guys and like, oh my God, this guy's got like literally 9 Grammys and has like platinum records. But the thing that you guys connect on is music. Like just like that kid sitting on the edge of his bed at 13,
'Cause that's
trying
where
to
it
pick
came
up a
from.
song, and it doesn't change.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter if you got 6 streams
Yeah.
or if you got 6 Grammys.
Right? But you're
Yeah.
right. The commonality, a song has to be written.
Yeah.
There's a story about a song, and everyone remembers that because that song is a part of them. Once it's finalized, it comes
Yeah.
out. It's something that they did that goes on in history. So you will always remember.
Yeah.
And a musician will always remember. So whether they won 12 Grammys or they got 12 streams,
Yeah.
that discussion of sitting on the bed, like it's etched, and it
everybody's.
becomes a
That's
story.
what. Yeah.
It's there. It doesn't
Yeah.
matter whether you had $20 in your pocket
No.
or 20 million.
No,
right?
exactly. Yeah.
I'm sure when I don't know Aerosmith, if they're writing now, I don't know, probably not. but,
Yeah.
but they have millions. But if they come out with a song, they're gonna remember how they recorded it and stuff. And it's important to them.
Yeah, and they still get excited, and same thing with us, I'm sure, and with you, when you come up with something cool and different, and then the idea is, okay, how do I get this on tape? I was gonna say, but nobody
Yeah.
uses tape anymore, which you know what I mean,
On
right?
reel to reel.
Yeah. So so I've been playing, guitar since I was a kid, and I was very lucky because when I started high school, and I don't want to bore anybody, but when I started high school, I was a bit lost. Okay, so 13-year-old kid, I go to school, and it was just I wasn't feeling it, and one of my teachers goes, "Hey, there's this thing after school. You should really check it out. It's for this new art school they're opening up." And it was a fine art school, and I'm like, who wants to stay to school even later than you have to?
Yeah.
But I had a detention that day, so I was there anyway. And I popped in, and it was a couple of teachers from a fine art school called Darcy McGee,
Oh, yeah,
Center for
of course.
Fine and
Yeah,
Performing
yeah.
Arts. So it was like it all started to make sense, and it was kind of back then. There was like Fame, that TV show.
Yeah.
I went to visit the school, and it was exactly that vibe. There was like my people were there. It was
Yeah.
like artists and musicians and dancers, and the teachers were also
Kind
cool.
of like Face, right? The same idea.
100%. They were like our rival,
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we would have rock shows on with my buddies. We would, and the teachers were very encouraging of that. And at the same time, I played classical guitar, and the school got me an actual classical guitar teacher. Because back then you had to take band, so everybody was playing like an instrument, like a band instrument, and there I was with the guitar, because I'm like, sir, please just get me a guitar. So he was super cool, and it was a really vibrant and encouraging environment for musicians. So it really helped me get through high school.
And then
Man.
once you get over that hump of the learning process to get through a song, then the bug hits. Right?
Yeah,
'Cause
and
that's the problem is we lose a lot of kids. I find we lose a lot of kids in that process.
Yeah.
The whole 3-4 months to actually get through a song.
yeah, because they want
They
that
don't
instant
wanna-
gratification.
They want to play Zeppelin now.
Yeah.
And you got to do this 100 million times till you're not thinking of this anymore.
Yeah.
Then you could move on.
Absolutely, and there, like, we would literally sit on the steps of the houses that were near our school, because we were right on Pine and Park, and we would like sing, jam, play. There was a band room, so you never literally had to leave the building. So we would literally have a jam room that we would go to at lunch, and me and my buddies Jill and Louie and all these guys, we would just hang out, and we had a band called Bad Trip.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. My band was called Misled back in high school.
There you go.
A rock band, of course.
So that was cool, and that's that's how I got into the classical thing, and then the electric thing, and all that stuff.
Cool. Guys, I mean, listen, I'm sure you want to see, you heard him play already, you know he can play, but you just released a video.
Yeah.
So I want to watch the video.
Let's do it.
I've seen it.
Okay,
but
cool.
We're going to watch it, and then I want you to talk to me about the video.
All right.
I want you to explain to me what goes into the video. You can,
Okay.
So basically, I'm going to give you, the screen is going to flip for the audience.
Okay.
And they're going to be watching the video, and in the corner is going to be you and me talking.
Fantastic.
About it. So
Cool.
I'm going to get that video. Let me just make sure I get the right
I should have known, right?
here. Yeah, sure. We'll start with that one.
Is that the one you were?
I have.
That's
both
the
of
most
them.
recent, yeah.
I should have known. That's exactly it. Okay, here we go. And now you get the ads of YouTube. Here we go. There's no place like Chrome. All right, we're getting there. We're
That's
getting
it.
there.
Maybe we can get Google to sponsor the podcast.
That's right. Look, here it is.
So, my daughter shot that video.
Oh, really?
Yeah, she was probably 15 years old. She shot it.
That's so cool.
Yeah, and this is not far from where I live. And so what happened is I shot this, and do we talk over it or do I wait?
We can, you know, if you want to give out certain points, and then we'll talk about it.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, for sure.
So it's very organic, you know. We just
Beautiful scenery.
shot.
Beautiful scenery.
Thanks.
Did you come up with the idea?
I just wanted to shoot it near that old house that they've since torn down,
Okay.
and my daughter did the rest. And then I got a buddy of mine, Marco Yamateo, to edit it.
Phone's on his cell phone.
That is 100% on her phone. Yeah. And then Marco added some magic. And it's really weird because I was always just in the back. I was the guitar player, and I sang out of necessity because I wanted to get these songs out there. So it's very weird to kind of watch yourself. It's like, what am I doing, right?
Wow. So you never really sang before, kind of thing?
I would sing, and yeah. Mimo would always get mad at me when I was in the band because he would, dude, you gotta do your backup vocals. I'm like, ah, man, I just want to play guitar. Thank you. So I recorded this with, I can give you the whole school, but the final recording and some of the stuff was with Joe Pacheco. He's a good buddy of mine. He's super talented. Oh my God, yeah, I love that guy. Oh yeah? Oh yeah. He's so talented. Yeah. Yes, I think so. GC?
GC.
Yeah, that's right.
Exactly.
That's right. We're all friends now with Instagram and Facebook.
Well, I used to see them all the time at school.
Yeah,
Right?
good guy, that guy.
Because my wife roped me into doing all the sound for all the...
Oh, you were that guy, right?
That was that guy. Sure, I'll do it.
Thank you.
You consider it like a pop rock?
Yeah, like, you know, you don't sit down and think, okay, what am I gonna write? Actually, this song started off as an instrumental.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and I love, you know, good pop. I like also like a lot of country.
I was gonna say there's definitely country.
I like Keith Urban a lot. He's super, you know.
What happened to the guitar?
Anyway, I just threw it.
Oh my God.
It's actually this guitar, so I made it out alive. You see.
Wow, that's
the grass
crazy.
was so tall, so I'm like, let me try
Oh,
this,
wow.
you know. So it survived.
He's gonna say, he works for Godin. He can do it.
yeah. No, here it is. I made sure that there was no guitars were harmed.
8 mattresses. I saw one video. We had a girl on the podcast. Her name was Melina, and she did a video. And I watched the video. And they fucking burnt a grand piano.
Yeah.
Holy shit!
She bought an old grand piano and she burnt it in her video.
That's
it's
crazy.
Like, motherfucker, you just burnt it.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, it was the coolest thing. Yeah, okay. Well, I was crying, but whatever.
That's
okay,
fine.
so yes, there was an all-star lineup of musicians. You got some pretty.
Yeah, I was very lucky because when I recorded the song, which was a couple of years ago, so everything, maybe it's my ADHD, but I do everything pretty much backwards. So, kind of wrote the song, then I kind of had the demo of the song, and then released the song, then released the video like 6 months later. It's like a disaster, It's like, this is why I need Francesca to help me out, Fearless Sound, put me on track. So and it sounds like, so part of my job is I go to the trade shows, and so I was in Nashville one day, and one of my friends, Mike Latanzi, he's a great guy, and he's a producer and an engineer, and he goes, Mario, where's your stuff? I'm like, man, I'm looking for a drummer. And we were at dinner, and he goes, this guy will do it. And the guy sitting next to him was Nir Z. Nir Z has played with Genesis. He's played with Blake Shelton, Luke Bryan, and he was the drummer for John Mayer for Room for Squares. And he was next to him, and I had just met him. Super nice guy. My wife was there as well, and he just said, "Yeah, man, I'll do it." So I'm like, well, "Yeah, whatever." So I literally took my iPhone, and I went home, and I took this song. This song started off being like. And then I just kind of sped it up, So I literally did that on an iPhone, and I sang. I just sang it, whatever. Wow. And I played the whole song. Mm-hmm. The lyrics weren't even finished. My wife literally had to say, "Finish these lyrics, please." Like literally, I still remember. All the guitar parts were done. All the parts. And I just sent it to him. I sent it to Mike.
Okay.
And I sent it to him. I'm like, would you play drums on this? And he's like, yeah. He goes, but dude, can you use a click track? I'm like, yes. So I re-recorded it with Joe. I went and I recorded it just like with a click. And he just did the drums at the Latitude Studios in Nashville. And they sounded like literally monstrous. Wow. Monstrous. So we just got him here. And then I had Victor Broden, who's a friend of mine. He's a bass player. He's played with, believe it or not, he's played with Dawkin. Okay. He's played with Leanne Rimes, and he's a session. He's a session guy. Uh-huh. He's such a nice guy. He's a Swedish guy, and we got along immediately. Okay. And I said, dude, can you throw some bass on this? So I sent him the files. He's in LA with the click. Like, man, you guys want me to play with a click? What are you, nuts?
What is happening?
So he did the bass and brought it back. Anyway, so I got all these great guys. I'm like, man, this is awesome. And what happens is when you get these, top-notch guys is your playing just goes up a notch because now you got to follow this crazy rhythm section, right? Yeah. And it just felt really, really good. And we did the rest here at Joe Pacheco's studio. And we did all the guitars, and I'd go after, work, like, have dinner with family and all that stuff, and then I'd go to his house at 9, get home at 1. Yeah. It was pretty crazy, Awesome. So it's really cool, and I want to continue doing music like that because I really felt like, man, after you hear and feel that, it's hard to go back with my little,
it bites you,
drum machine in my house. You know what I mean? So
it gives you like a high that you want to get back there.
Yeah, and I'm very grateful for those guys because they could have easily said no, and they did it. And Devin Malone is another friend of mine who's a session guy in Nashville, and he's played some acoustic guitar parts. He played some organ on one song. Oh. So I was very, very happy and very fortunate to have these guys, and that's another thing. It's like everybody supports each other. Yeah. It's like these guys don't need to play for Mario. They don't. Yeah. But they're like, hey, man, that's really cool. And so the songs came out better than I expected. Wow. And plus, Joe Pacheco really did all the final touches and co-produced it and did all that great stuff.
Shout out to Joe, by the way.
Yeah, absolutely, man. I'm trying to, I keep bugging him. I want to do more stuff with him, but he's so busy. But he promised me he's going to.
He is busy, I noticed. got a lot of projects going on
Yeah,
at the same time. Good
yeah.
for him.
I'm just gonna drive to his house and say, "You got no choice. You know, let's do this."
Well, you know, I'm not far from him.
There you go. So
The grappa's always. It's
there
always
you
there.
go.
And if I need a guitar part here and there, what can I
Exactly.
say?
I'm in. I'm in.
I'm in.
Yeah. So that's it. So that's I should have known, and it was literally an instrumental song, and because a lot of times, and I'm sure you go through this, or at least I do, but I know I speak to a lot of songwriters, and is that you're thinking, man, does the world need another song, especially from me, right? You think that you think like, what's the point? And then you realize, yeah, because it's something you want to say, and we've all been in bands, we've all enjoyed ourselves in bands, we've done a bunch of stuff, but also I find that I'm enjoying it more now because now I don't think, oh, I got to write a 3-minute song, or I have to. It's got to be a certain way. So I just write what happens. Like before you asked me, is that a pop? Yeah, I guess it's a pop. And you try to grab your influences.
Yeah.
And if the solo's too long, who cares?
Yeah.
And if it's too if there's no solo, who cares? And
Well,
if there's a
that's the
bridge,
beauty.
who cares,
That's
right?
the beauty now is that the record labels, there's less of them because it's
Yeah.
not as needed as it used to be. So
Yeah.
you want to write something that's 15 minutes long,
That's
fucking
right.
do it, man.
And what's really interesting is that like this stuff, it's on a label. It's on Mercia Records in the UK, and they picked it up, and we've got Sony Orchard distribution.
Amazing.
So and it just so happened, you know, just naturally, wasn't really looking for it, and people that you meet 20 years ago that come back in your life and say, hey, what have you been doing? And they're like, hey, I have a label now. You want to put your stuff on my label? So just a lot of good. I think when you surround yourself with just people you like,
When you
for the
put
right
it out there,
reasons.
too, and when you
Yeah.
put it out there too.
Yeah, you know, just so that was really cool. That was interesting, you know.
Fun.
So
So in the UK, it's on a record label. That's
yeah,
amazing.
yeah.
Amazing.
So that was really cool, and we talk all the time. His name is Mike Kay. He's a great artist,
Are
great
you thinking
guitar
of
player.
Doing like some sort of after you release like 6-7 songs or whatever it may be, like some sort of show or some sort
Not
of
really. I don't know. You know, it's I kind of enjoy
the
the
process.
songwriting more, and live I like to just kind of be somebody's guitar player. I'd be happier doing that. You know, I probably will. You know, Francesca always bugs me like you should do more live stuff. I probably will,
100%.
but I gotta say I just want to keep writing and throwing it out there. My goal would be to have other artists cut my tracks. You know,
Yeah.
that would be like my goal. You know, so we'll see what happens.
It will. You're throwing it out there. Right?
Yeah, that's right.
I need a grappa. No, honestly, that's wow. Are you in the process of doing another one like now? Have you started recording another song?
Yeah, I've got about I got a handful of songs. I'm just kind of like the music is done, the lyrics are kind of like halfway done. You know.
You gave me the warning.
Yeah, I'm good.
We're
I'm
good?
good. Yeah, thank you.
So
I did
I'm
the
gonna
dry
have to-
January.
You did the dry. That's amazing.
Yeah, I did the dry January, and it was
I
good.
did the dry January. I can't even say first because it wasn't dry.
It was not even.
It was maybe January 3rd. That
It's not
might have
been
been dry. Maybe. I can't
It's
even
a
vouch
start.
for that. So it's gonna. Welcome to
Cheers, man.
Wet February.
There you go.
Oh my god.
So are you gonna are you doing these songs to put an album together?
I was thinking of that, but I think I'm just gonna release them as I get them.
As they go along?
You know, as I try to like get 5, 6, 7, 8 done, and then just every couple of months throw one out there. Because my goal really is to get other artists to hopefully like it or co-write with, not even like just get it out there, and there's you never write saying, oh, I wonder if this artist will like the song, but things happen naturally. There's this artist called John, Gion, and we have a song we wrote called Second Chances, and he put that on his EP, and it's really great because he got like a million streams for some other stuff he's done. So he's he had quite a buzz going and still writing and doing stuff. So to me that was really cool that he took that song and put it on his EP, and I just want to continue doing more of that stuff.
That's amazing.
Yeah,
You know what? I want to see another video.
let's do it.
Yeah, I love it. It's great stuff, man. See, guys, I've known Mario. It's been quite a while. We did 3 podcasts. This is the 3rd. And see, I didn't know any of this stuff, right? And that's why I love doing the podcast, because you get to actually sit down for an hour. Because let's face it, in today's day and age, we're all busy.
Yeah.
So we run into each other. Hey, how's it going? Hey, good. I'm doing this. I'm doing that. I'm recording. You have a quick conversation. But it's hard to sit down
hard,
and talk
yeah.
and just talk music or just talk. It's tough, and I enjoy
Yeah,
it.
we're always running around. We have families.
Right?
You know.
Oh, I'm going to soccer, and then I'm going
Yeah.
here, and then I'm going there, and I
Yeah.
have to record a podcast and whatever. We're always busy. But now on the podcast, and that's why I fell in love with doing it, because when I'm actually here, all the prep that I did, who gives a shit now? Now it's
Exactly.
like, let's have a conversation.
Yeah.
I want to know about Mario. I want to know about this song. And this is a song called Parachute,
Yeah.
which another cool video. So let's check this one out. When was this recorded?
This I released that last year, 2022, if I'm not mistaken.
Don't tell me it's another cell phone video.
No, this is Marco
I can tell.
Mateo. He put this together. He produced it and directed it.
Great voice.
Oh, thanks, man. That was also recorded with Joe Pacheco.
Okay.
Thanks, man. It's a good thing I didn't wear that t-shirt. I almost wore that same t-shirt.
You would have confused me.
Yeah, like,
What's the
what's
video?
going on? We got a real B3 on there.
I can tell, right?
Yeah,
Sounds good.
yeah. Man, it's like,
You cannot duplicate that.
yeah, yeah. Here's a bridge. Nobody does bridges anymore.
That's what I was gonna
So I'm like,
say, yeah. There's a bridge. Oh my god. Oh, the young kids are gonna be confused.
yeah, what's that?
You're going to a new market.
Again, you know, we just kept going because we're like, Joe was like, let's keep that in there, all that stuff. Just keep it. I'm like, no, don't worry. So he convinced me it was just all this. Yeah, because like, you know.
I love it.
Thanks, man.
Love it. Great.
Very nice.
Thanks. Appreciate it.
Amazing stuff.
We just kept it all in here. Yeah,
Of course.
Yeah, we use like 3 different guitars, and there's a bunch of layers. And again, it's fun, and it's funny because I'll listen to some of the fills and stuff, and I'm like, I remember exactly the night where I was sitting, what time it was.
Crazy, eh?
It's crazy.
Was it the same guys that recorded the
Yeah.
bass and drums?
Yeah.
Wow.
And we got Paul Brown playing. Paul Brown is another session guy from Nashville. He plays with a band called the Waterboys, if I'm not mistaken. Like, just really good
So
guys.
St. Leonard guys are out of the question.
Yeah.
It's RDP. It's like
It's funny because when I called him, I said I had met him, and I'm like an idiot. I'm like, hey, okay, so here I hear a little, and he's like, okay, how about this? Let me go. Let me see. Let me send you what I think,
Yeah.
and then if you like it, great. If you don't, I'll just redo it. And what he sent me was better than anything I would have ever thought of. Right?
Oh.
I had seen him at a club in Nashville. This guy is like the Mick Jagger of B3. Like you see him, he looks like Mick Jagger or Steven Tyler, like literally like just ripping on. And at the end of the night, I was outside the club. Literally, look, how crazy is this? I'm outside, okay, and he was playing with my friend. His name is Pete Morose. He was actually on America's Got Talent. This guy, but anyway, so he was playing in his band, and I'm just standing outside. And I helped him bring his B3 into like a van or something, or I remember, or it was some other keyboard. But so we're all like lugging gear, right?
Yeah.
Long story short, again, I just asked him. He's like, yeah, man. I just asked him.
Are you serious? You just went to
I just said, hey, man, I'm Pete's friend. I'm like writing some songs. I'm looking for a B3 guy. So would you do it? He was like, yeah, man. Just send me the song. So I sent him another shitty like version on my phone, this time with a click track, and
It's like, you know what?
and he did that. Yeah, exactly, and he did. So it's like that's what I tell my kids: just ask, just ask.
Sometimes you're
Ask
right.
for the job, ask for the raise.
Sometimes I already have the excuse. I'm like, why do you think that guy's gonna
No.
give shit about me?
No, you gotta ask because sometimes they don't know what you want or not want, and if you ask, you're not imposing.
Yeah.
You're just asking. Hey, man, just wondering, would you do this for me? I got a pedal steel guy the same way, like this great pedal steel. I saw a band, and I'm like, hey, man. And
I gotta try that. I'm just gonna go around town. I'm gonna fly to Nashville.
yeah.
Hey, dude,
and,
you wanna record? Actually, you wanna write a song for me?
You'll get a bunch of no's.
I get a bunch of notes.
and you know what? It wasn't like I purposely said, let me get. I just was in the moment, and I just asked, and then it just started coming together.
Wow,
Yeah.
the song is great, man.
The only guy that said no is a buddy of mine, Aaron. I wanted him to sing on the stuff. My friend Aaron. And I said, Aaron, and he's a great guitar player, great singer, great songwriter. And I said, I have these songs. Would you sing on my songs? And he's like, nope. He goes, you're going to sing your songs.
Wow.
And I'm saying, no, you got to sing. I go, I'm not a singer. And he's like, yeah, you are. You're going to sing your song. Because we jam once in a while.
Okay,
So I got to thank him for saying no,
Yeah.
And he like literally said, yeah, you could sing your own
Kick you in the ass a
songs. Yeah, because I'd see him every maybe twice a year, 3 times a year. He doesn't live in Montreal. And I say, come on, man, sing on these songs. He goes, no, you're going to sing your songs. And he really encouraged me to do it. So,
Good, man.
Yeah.
I'm glad he did because you got a great voice.
Oh, thanks, man.
The song sounds fantastic. A1 video is great.
thank you.
Wow, I can't wait for more, man.
Yeah, I'm hoping to, do it the same way. So if I get the yeses again, I'll do
But
it.
it costs you a flight to Nashville all the time.
Yeah, but you know what? Some of it I wasn't even there for. Wow. Yeah, because I would send them the stuff and they would send it to me and it was back and forth.
Amazing.
So, because yeah, I definitely asked friends from Montreal, but a lot of times they're busy.
Yeah.
Or they're like, oh, it's my buddy, I'll do it when I have time. And not that it never happens, but they've got their own lives. These guys, that's what they do. They're like just banging it out every day for everybody,
Wow.
So.
Yeah, I guess when you have the setup,
Yeah.
I just recorded some parts for the skirts actually.
Yeah, I heard. He made me hear
some simple track,
Yeah.
but it's like I have this little studio at home. I was like, oh, I gotta set it up. Let me set it up.
That's
properly.
great.
I want to do it right, And it's
But
like,
that cello sounded killer.
oh, did you?
Yeah,
like it?
yeah. Because he was quickly making me, we're at the office, so I'm like, I didn't get to hear it all.
I
But
did a couple of strings. I have like a million tracks I did.
Yeah,
a
the
bunch
piano
of
sounded
different
good.
things.
Yeah.
Simple. I mean, I like that. It's a guitar-oriented song.
Yeah.
I didn't want to take away, but yeah, no, thanks, man. But
That was really cool.
I did, and then when you're in there, I could just keep going, and I can. Oh,
Yeah, that's the
get more and
danger.
more, right?
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, so I just did a couple of string tracks, a couple of cello tracks, and then I put them together. I'm like,
Yeah.
guys, if you need more, they're there. I just didn't give them to you because I condensed them, so you don't have to listen to 20.
Yeah,
I
exactly.
took the parts that I think are good.
Yeah.
If you want something else, but like I was saying, when you have a studio that's what you do. It's like you walk down, you turn on, start playing.
Yeah.
You know, why you're here, why you're there.
No, that's right.
Right?
It's easy. Yeah.
I use a computer and I do studio stuff, but not that I record myself all the time. So, but,
Yeah, and there's so many options. Like I find, like, I've got so many, like, menus of like grooves and loops and stuff.
Amazing.
But it also like wastes a lot of time.
Take care, buddy.
Take care, man. See you.
Have a
Thanks,
good,
man.
Have a good trip.
Thank you.
Guys,
Now
Emil,
everybody knows.
say bye.
Great thinking,
He's going, no, the trip is to RDP. He's coming back tomorrow morning.
Where's RDP? I'll
Rivière.
GPS it. Later.
Ciao, man.
So that's what I was saying. So sometimes you have too many options, and even for us, when we were recording this with Joe, we would get some sounds and say, okay, it's good for now, and we'll get better sounds later. But a lot of times we're like, man, we nailed it the first time. What's wrong with that sound? And so I'm learning to just like, even in my little home studio, I'll just mic my amp. I won't even use any of the plugins.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm like,
that too.
and that's how we recorded with Frank Marino with Mimo's After Show.
Yeah.
It was like, hey man, you like that sound? Boom, that's what we're printing. Let's do it. And it was like rock and roll. You're printing to tape.
And that sounds
it's,
great too, by
and
the way,
it's-
the sound.
Yeah, man. I used his gear.
Wow.
Like
that's
so.
amazing.
So I saw Frank Marino when I was 14 years old. Frank Marino and Steve Ray Vaughan in Montreal. And I remember looking at being a kid, saying, "Holy shit, that's a huge board!" And 35 years later, I'm in his house using that board. It was ridiculous.
It's analog.
Oh yeah, every single pedal. First of all, we went through a Helios board that he's got in his house. It's like, so just the preamps on that thing was stupid, ridiculous. But I was going through his custom-made pedal board, custom-made pedals, his plexis, his Fender Twin.
Oh my God.
At one point, his wife came downstairs. Denise, she's lovely. I've known them for years, right? And we're friends. And she goes, "Oh my God, he pulled out the twin." He goes, "He must really like you."
You got the twin on the
Yeah,
album.
yeah, yeah.
Oh, that's,
So that was, how crazy is that?
that's amazing.
Like, think about it. You're like a kid, like at the rail. I remember I was holding onto the railings, watching,
Frank
and
Marino.
and Vince, his brother, produced Crystal
I remember
stuff
that.
back in the day, and so there you go. So I got to use that stuff, and he taught me a lot, Frank and Vince, and how to. Hey man, you like it? Don't second guess yourself. Do it. Does it sound like a guitar? Does it sound? So
It's true though. What you're saying is very true.
yeah, because you could spend all night with the plugins and with the this and with the that.
Keyboard sounds like holy. Sometimes I'm like, you second guess. You're like,
Yeah.
I need to come up with a patch for this, and we're still creating sounds. I'm like, there's 4,000 sounds in this keyboard alone. Why do I need to create a new one? Like,
Yeah.
I'm sure I can find.
That's
them, but
it.
it takes you hear 20 that are
Yeah.
okay. This can work, and then which one is it? I don't
Yeah,
know.
there's that,
Sometimes
and
I just like piano.
exactly.
That's it. We're good.
But that's what Frank would do. He would
Yeah.
he would just say what's and Joe as well. And the thing is with Frank was like, okay, so now I'm playing guitar, and he's just there like you're sitting with your arms crossed and watching me. I'm like, this doesn't make sense. So you actually at that point you have nothing to lose. So you just say, screw it, let me just go for
Do
it,
it, yeah.
and you just
Amazing.
yeah.
And probably performance of a lifetime. Probably.
There was it's there was one song that I said, man, let me just go for it.
Yeah.
And he left the room, or he pretended to leave the room. And then when I finished, he was just leaning up against the wall. And he's like, yeah, that's great. And he said, a couple of Frank licks in there, eh? And I'm like, yeah, a couple. I'm ripping you off. I've been ripping you off since I was 13 years old,
Only a couple.
Yeah. So that was funny. But super
Hi,
cool
Sandra.
guy.
Our next guest, guys, coming right
Yeah.
up. So that's really cool. Man.
Yeah.
Wow.
And the new stuff that I'm we're doing. Speaking of song, you asked me
Yeah.
before. Was it's different for me, but it's kind of acoustic, electric, kind of whatever comes out. So
Oh, cool. Like
we'll
you
see what
started the
happens.
recording of
yeah, I started some of it. Yeah.
that. Amazing.
Again, I try to just kind of get it on down, document it.
Yeah.
And we'll see what happens.
Sure,
Maybe
yeah.
you could play some piano on it.
Hey, man. Anytime.
I'm asking.
I'm done. Sold.
Awesome.
I'll definitely do
Cool.
it, man.
It's a deal.
It's a deal. It's done. Sold.
Cool, cool.
Just that I need to do it in Frank Marino studio. No, I'm
There you
joking.
go.
Actually, I prefer to do it at home. Because, like you said,
Yeah.
when they're watching you, it's like, oh,
Yeah,
my God,
yeah.
this is weird. Yeah. It's weird.
What are you
eh?
gonna do?
I can perform in front of thousands of people.
Yeah.
Sandra can attest to that. We've done huge shows together, and I have not a butterfly at all. Like I go
Yeah.
on and it's let's have fun, and then sometimes I'll be like my cousin's birthday party 2 weeks ago, and there was a piano there. We were like 10 people. Hey,
Yeah.
Steph, go play a song. No. I get all shy. Like, I'm like, I don't want to play in front of 5. Like, right now in this room, if I had to play, I'd be kind of nervous.
Yeah.
I'd have a drink and then I'd play all night, but whatever. But still, it's just, it's a weird, I don't know, weird vibe.
Yeah, I was kind of used to playing in front of when we started touring with my old band. I remember it was nice when you played for, you know, I think the most we played for is like maybe 3,000. That was like, you know, kind of like a one summer where it was like, oh my God, this is crazy. But most of the time it was like, you know, 300-400, which was still really cool.
Yeah, it's always
And but I remember one night we were in Ontario, we were playing this place, and it was a Tuesday night. It was probably, you know, storm out there. And there were more band members than people, honestly. And I remember we finished the song,
Yeah.
and I heard somebody break, you know, they were playing pool, and I and I remember that sound. Until this day, when I hear somebody like break I get PTSD. I'm like, it was like, geez.
But you know what? We all go. See, that's the thing. Remember when you're saying, doesn't matter how much money you have. If you're a musician, we've all been in that situation where I remember I did this big job. It was for CIBC, and they had a lot of wealthy people. They rented the Sky Dome in Toronto.
Nice.
Right? We played on the field. There was 5,000 people. It was a huge show. And it was a Wednesday night, I'll never forget. And I drove back after the show, this major high. And the next night I was playing at Bocacino's.
Yeah.
Right? In St. Leonard on Jean Talon.
Yeah.
Right? And it's like, okay, last night and tonight. But I enjoy it. That's the thing. So we've all been there. One day you can be playing with fucking whoever it is, and the next day you're in some scrawny bar and some guys passed out in front of you. Right?
You know, it's funny you say that because, and you know, again, I don't want to go on, but I always appreciated literally every single gig that I've ever done. And you could even ask Mimo, because he would always like say, fuck, dude, it doesn't matter if the gig was small or big. I wanted the rain lights. I wanted the banner. I wanted because I remember literally being a kid, that church in RDP, you know, and being a kid, I was probably 11, 12 years old. I started playing guitar, and there was like a basement party. Of
course.
And I remember leaning up against the pole, and there was a band. And I said, oh my God, man. I said, if I can just one day be on a stage like that. But the stage was like literally a 2x4 with a plywood. It was like and I remember it was like a 4-inch. And I remember thinking, man, the difference between me and those guys, it's like it's just 4 inches, man. So I always appreciated every gig, like literally. It doesn't matter if it was just us. And I don't know why, because I'm like, man, it's like, because I still think, wow, I'm so lucky. Like, look, I got to get on that thing and play.
Yeah.
And so yeah, I don't really.
I'm the same thing. I do appreciate every single. I enjoy. Like I don't want to get off.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's a problem. Like I get shit with Soul Station. I get shit because I'm the musical director on stage, and like some of the band members, like the owner comes up to me and says, "Okay,
get
you
off.
gotta take a break." I'm like, dude, don't worry, they're partying. It's fun. And he's like, yeah, but it's 2 hours we're on.
Yeah.
No, it's not 2 hours. He's like, yeah. I'm like, okay, the drummer's dying.
Well, when you love what you do, you know, it's like.
Once I'm on, sometimes I do get that. We all get that feel. Oh, I gotta go do that, you know, right? Okay, let me just get through it.
Yeah.
But once I'm there, once I'm actually forget it. I'll go forever. It's crazy.
Yeah, I hate sound checks, but once we get to play, I'm good. It just sounds like I just can't. I have no patience, you know.
Try being a drummer. Good.
Yeah.
Good. And then we all do the same thing. We're doing the kick and then doing the thing. And then you, as a drummer, you get so fidgety.
Yeah.
And the guy's like, could you just play the bass drum? Oh, yeah. Sorry. Anyway.
Yeah.
I need a grapple.
There you go.
Mario. Amazing. I'm definitely gonna put. Play a song. You know what? Play a tune while I drink. This is great.
What
man.
kind of?
Play. That's great. I love it, man. Cheers, everyone. I drink to myself. I'm getting serenaded to drink. This is great.
That's a riff I'm working on for some other stuff. But it's funny how songs happen. Like the Parachute was, there was this, it's about like saving somebody, a parachute.
Yeah.
Just a conversation I had with, I remember this girl from high school that, I don't even remember her name, but I remember she was like, she just disappeared, vanished. Like, she changed school. And then it was like, I asked somebody, hey, whatever happened to that girl? And they're like, they told me her story, which was this insane story of like, she needed to be saved. And that's how Parachute came out.
Wow.
And this is something similar where it was about, it's called Us. It's a song called Us. And it's I just saw this picture of this couple. And in my head, I wrote this whole story. So it's not even real, but I just extrapolated from what are they thinking and stuff like that, you know?
Wow, man.
Yeah, who would have thought, right? Like now it's like 50 years old and you're writing like these, you actually...
Well, now you have the experience to write.
Yeah, or at least the time to think a little bit about it, or I'm not sure. Or maybe we're less fearful. We're fearless.
True. Fearless.
There you go.
Fearless sounds. There
There
you
you
go.
go. But right,
There you
because that's
go.
the thing. Like, I swear to God, I was driving over here and I'm thinking, you know, when you're a kid, you're like, people say you suck and you can't do it. And then I realized, like, yeah, guess who that person was? That was me, to myself. You know, and you realize, and then when you get older, you're like, you don't care, or you care less, and you just, then the good stuff comes out. And I always try to write my music as if nobody's ever going to hear these songs. Because that way you take out the parts that you're trying to impress people with, or the fast licks, or all that stuff.
Very true.
You know?
It's true, because sometimes you're like, oh, what if he hears it? Oh, let me try and do a little thing.
Yeah, you strip it down. Like what's not necessary. It's kind of like when you're writing, you know, content for like a website or something. You got to kind of say, okay, what words don't need to be there? You edit, you know.
Yeah.
So as you get older, I wish I knew this, you know, when I was 20. You know.
We all, right?
Yeah.
What's that saying? No, experience is waste. No,
Yeah.
sorry. Something is wasted on the youth.
Pretty much everything.
Yeah, pretty much everything. Yeah, it's like experience is wasted on the youth. Okay, you know what? I think it's time for first thought.
Okay,
you
great.
Know the game.
First talk.
It's first thought. So
First
it's
thought.
a little game we
I
do
thought you were
on Sessions
referring
with
to
Stef.
the Let's Talk It Out. Sorry.
No. That's coming up
Sorry.
right after.
Okay, sorry.
So first thought, it's a little game that we do on every session.
Oh
with
yeah,
Stef.
of course. What am I
Right?
talking about? Yeah.
you know that.
I've been here before.
Mario,
I've been here before.
We're gonna do a shortened version of it.
Okay, because I talk a
then-
lot and then it's like we're running out of time.
No. Because with you, we've already done it twice, but
Okay.
I'm gonna do it. And I might even repeat the same ones because this I do it.
No, it's
on
cool.
the
It's
fly.
cool. I won't
But
remember.
We have a question. I don't think you've been asked. It's the Francesca question.
Okay.
So we're gonna spend more time on that.
Okay, cool,
And it's
cool.
part of the game.
All right.
So I mean, obviously, I must have asked
That's
favorite
the
food.
fearless question.
Fearless
Okay.
question. Yes.
The fearless question.
The fearless question. Yes. Okay, but first, it's favorite food.
I'm a simple. Well, that's a hard one because
I just simply was
simple,
about
but
to
it's
say
hard.
something, but
so like I'd have to go with my mother-in-law's coteletas.
there you
Right?
go. Nice. Okay.
But let's say outside of
That's good.
that,
Outside of that, so you
like-
got the brownie points.
there you go. You got the brownie points. But like I'm a simple. Like just give me a good burger and I'm good to go.
Really? Eh?
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Nice burgers.
Okay. How about favorite TV show?
Man, you know what? It's like I watch a lot of podcasts, you know. So that's probably my TV. But I'd have to say my all-time favorite show. There's two of them. There's Cheers and there's Frasier. Yeah, man. Those guys. Oh man, they're like.
Cheers is Cheers.
I used to like
Cliff.
yeah.
Or all of that.
Can't go
It's
wrong,
amazing.
right?
Can't go wrong.
So those are my two favorites, and I still catch them once in a while, and I'm like, man,
Cool,
it's
man.
really cool. Just that song at the beginning of Cheers, it bums me out, so I try to like not listen to that. I don't know why. It just gets that melancholy.
You know what's funny? I used to one of the bands I played with was called Cheers Forever.
That's right.
Yeah,
That's
the band I
right.
played
Of
with
course.
was Cheers.
I
So
know.
every time we'd play at a wedding, and it was funny because every musician in the band would say, "Okay, are we gonna play that song? Like,
Yeah.
You should start off the night with dun, da, 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 da." And I'm like, "No, no."
Yeah, it's
I
a bit
heard
of a vibe kill. That
It's
song.
a bit of a vibe kill. It's like I heard it every Thursday for who knows how many years.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
like, anyway, so,
Yeah, Three's Company, of course, all the good
yeah,
stuff.
All the good,
But
good
then,
oldies.
yeah, but my daughter makes me like, say, hey, Dad, you should watch this or that. And there's a thing I'm watching now on Netflix. It's called Superstore. It's got
Okay.
this dry
I
humor.
saw it. I saw.
It's
I
really
didn't
funny,
Watch an
and-
episode, but I saw
So it's
it
cool.
on
My
there.
daughter's got the same
Okay.
dry, dark humor as
Oh,
me.
cool.
You know, my wife doesn't appreciate. You know, she's like, "What's wrong with you guys?" She doesn't get that humor. You know.
I love it.
Yeah, but yeah. So that's my favorite shows,
Okay.
I guess.
So now I'm gonna go into stuff like, and I've asked this before, but I don't think I've asked you. What's the first thought that comes to your mind when I say Nickelback?
They're coming in June. Just saying.
Who cares? I mean, what? Just saying.
I think Canadian, you know,
Okay,
and I
cool.
think
Well, it's
think
just
that
him, isn't it? It's just,
I'm not sure, but I think they got a bad rap. You know, a lot
that's
of people.
why I'm asking. 'Cause
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
Like, okay, they sell millions and millions of
Yeah,
records, and everyone hates them. So there's
Yeah,
something wrong.
and they've got some great. And the first thing I thought of, even before all that, is they've got some great sounding records.
They do have some good
Like
songs.
ridiculously good sounding records.
Yes.
Yeah.
And,
And photographs. Look at this photograph.
There you
Oh,
go.
that just-
Guys, come on. That was a funny joke. Come on. Come on.
I remember I went to see them,
Yeah.
and Bush opened for them.
Okay.
And he was like 10 people like
From
away from me.
Oh.
And I was like, Gavin, Gavin. Then he went down the stairs. Oh! And
Kevin?
then Gavin Rosdale.
Who's that?
The Bush guy.
Bush.
Oh, that's Bush. Oh.
Bush. And then
They were called Bush
Nickelback-
X in
So the Bush I
Bush
know.
X in Canada. Their records.
Yeah, exactly. And then Nickelback came out, but I mean, I think I saw
Yeah.
them twice. They were
think-
really good.
I think I've
Yeah.
already spoken too much about Nickelback on this
Hey.
podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've
They're coming in
we've
June.
already
Did I
passed-
fail to mention they're coming in June? Just
Very
saying.
nice, actually.
Yeah.
Very good.
Yeah, I don't know why they got a bad rap, but you know, they've
Yeah. I think because they're too good. Like not too good, but I don't know.
their records are massive. They're freaking
yeah,
great. Yeah,
let's-
so
let's
like
be honest, they sell for a reason.
that's it. But I don't get musicians who like compare or say, "Oh, that guy sucks," because it's not a sport.
Exactly.
It's literally not a
Everything
sport.
is subjective,
Like
right?
exactly, I never got that, and I went to a fine art school, and I could tell you that even in that school, there wasn't a lot of competition. It was more just you're part of this thing that you're building, you know.
So I'm going to ask you straight out, man. I'm going to hit you with it. Best guitar player of all time.
You know,
Yeah, I gotta,
that's a hard one
I
because
know.
there's guitar players that in different parts of your life mean different things to you. You know, so for example, like B.B. King to me is one of the greats, and it's like it got me into the blues. And my sister bought me the cassette, Live at the Regal, and it blew my mind.
Yeah.
I saw Frank Marino with Vince Marino, and that was an important part of my life. My mom had just passed away, so it was like a weird time, and they inspired me to play. So those guys, and now I get them to see them play. Gary Moore is one of my favorites. You know, like George Lynch, I think he's great. You know, Segovia, when I was, a classical guitar player.
Okay.
He's just, he was the guy that said, you know, a guitar is like a mini orchestra in your hands, you know. But I'd have to say, like, there's something special every time Vince Marino, who picks up a guitar, like it's like all those guys I mentioned are great, but this guy, I don't know, there's something about him that just
It oozes.
it just touches, because he can play blues, he can play bebop, he can play whatever, but it's just you hear him, you know. And then there's a lot of guys that you don't know that you know are just
So many.
incredible.
There's so many.
So it's a hard question, but I think they're all just phenomenal.
Okay, what's your favorite live show that you've seen?
By the way, I forgot Richie Blackmore,
Richie
that guy's. But Deep Purple was my first show. Again, my sister bought me a ticket. It was $14. It was at the Forum. It was
Can't even buy a
1985.
beer for that.
Perfect Strangers. You can't buy a beer. So my three favorite shows of all time would be Deep Purple, Fleetwood Mac a couple of years ago,
Cool.
and I saw Tom Petty right before he passed away.
Nice.
Just those three, I still get that like every single
I
song.
just played my first Tom Petty song.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, with one of the bands I played, they wanted to do a Tom Petty song.
Yeah.
I never just was an artist. I liked him.
Yeah.
I never got into it. Good stuff. Man.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
So every time you ask me a question, I give you three answers. How weird is that?
Best one of all time.
Yeah,
Three.
those
Okay, well,
three,
we're
yeah.
good. We're gonna have. So now we're gonna hit you with the hard question. This is the one. This is the Francesca, the Fearless Sounds question of the. Yeah, this. We're gonna. This is product placement, right?
Exactly.
The Fearless Sound question of the podcast is gonna be, you have to put together your all-time band. You can
Yeah.
pick anybody, alive, dead. It's your all-time band. Any instrumentation. You can
Yeah.
have two guitar players. One, if you want to lead a rhythm, you can have a keyboard player. You can have whatever you want, man. Front, who's singing, who's on bass. It's
Yeah, it's-
all, and it's one per.
I got three drummers.
Got three drummers
You know, I think John Lord on keyboards.
on keyboard. Nice.
You know, of
Okay.
course, you got to get that guy in there.
Uh-huh.
you know, on bass, let's throw in maybe, you know, it's funny. I would pretty much take just Deep Purple and
Yeah, you're okay. So you're
John Lord, like Ian Pace, Roger Glover, like all those guys. But yeah, how cool would that be, eh? But you know, let's say you'd have to pick people from different bands, right? So you get John Lord in there on keyboards. I went on bass. You know, I always liked Hugh McDonald. Always like Bon Jovi's guy.
Yeah.
Hugh McDonald. That guy is, to me, it's like something. You know,
He does have a killer sound.
yeah. I was gonna say, you know, Rudy Sarzo. I love that guy. But let's say, you know, Hugh McDonald.
Okay. Is he rhythm or like? Do you have one guitar player, or two guitar players?
Yeah, I'd like to get in it. I loved playing with other guitar players. Like I love playing with Fred. You know, who he was with me with Crystal.
Oh, okay.
I wasn't one of those guys like, oh, I got to be the only guitar player. I love playing with another guitar player. You know.
fun.
Yeah. So it's like, who would I get on guitar? Who would?
Like, are you an Eddie guy or are you?
Of course. But
Cage,
you know, I think there's so many good guitar players out there that you got to say, okay, how do you mesh? Who do you mesh with, right?
well, that's the thing, right? That's what makes it hard. It's like,
Yeah.
like as musicians,
You know what?
we kind of break it down. And
You know, I've been going down a deep rabbit hole with John Mayer. Let's get John Mayer in there.
fucking
pretty good.
pretty
He's
good.
he's a monster.
He's a monster.
Well,
Yeah.
you know, he's I've got a bit of a man crush on that guy.
Yeah,
But yeah. Well, like, you know, honestly, like speaking of, you know, like Nickelback, you were talking about before, they got a bad rap. He got a bad rap too because a lot of guys were like, oh, you know, here's this good-looking guy who writes these pop songs and he plays like a monster and he's, you know,
Fuck these people, man.
you know, and
That's
this
great.
and you know, listen to his records, listen to his jams. He was jamming with Keith Urban. I saw this thing on YouTube. They were doing a Beatles tune, and it's like he's a monster. They're both monsters.
So I saw him. Oh, what's her name? Some blonde. I can't remember. She's a famous singer. I can't remember her name right now. But she did a version. So you know the singer of Van Halen,
Sammy Hagar.
Sammy Hagar. He's got this thing on Access TV. Like this.
Oh, let's get that guy in the band too. He's a freaking rock star.
Awesome. And he's
Let's get him on vocals and guitar.
I think he stole sessions with Stef because he has a sessions with Stef style show. He goes, but he meets like these.
Yeah.
You know, he walks into Extreme Studio and he talks to them.
Yeah.
So he got on stage. It was an all-star lineup. Tommy Lee was playing drums. Not that that's all-star, but you know. it's a
Yeah,
good
yeah, for
drummer.
sure, of course.
And there was he was singing. It was Melissa Etheridge.
Oh, yeah.
And they were singing "Piece of My Heart."
Okay.
Okay, and they had all these kick-ass musicians right on stage, all of them, and John Mayer was one of them.
Yeah.
But fucking John Mayer was playing the ukulele,
Oh yeah.
and he took a solo on the ukulele.
Yeah,
Like,
he's-
just like this little guitar, but oozing so much fucking coolness. And I was like, motherfucker, of all these monsters on stage, he just told. He didn't say anything. He said like 2 words, yeah, and he soloing,
Yeah.
and I'm like, holy shit.
No, he's like underrated as far as I'm concerned. As a guitar player, as a musician,
Who's
and
drumming?
let's get Ian Pace on there.
Yeah.
You know, I love
Yeah.
Deep Purple. Like they're
You like that fat sounding, like they hit a snare. And it
yeah.
fucking
I like
resonates
those
with
types of guys, and there's a lot. You know, there's so many of
Who's
those
the
guys.
front person? That's
We get Sammy Hagar on
Sammy
there.
Hagar.
Yeah, he's gonna play guitar, and
He's a great singer,
Yeah.
man.
how about that? That's a band
Fantastic.
right there.
That's a fucking band.
I'm just gonna watch them.
I know. That's the thing.
Yeah. Like, what do you need me for?
I would just like to feel their energy. I
Yeah.
always said that, like a good show, I don't even need to be on stage. I just want to feel that energy, and I love
Yeah.
it, man. It's
Yeah.
so good.
Yeah, I know. I gotta get down to Cabo one day. We should go. You should do a podcast from there, live from Cabo Wabo,
Oh my
Sammy's
God.
place.
Yeah,
How
man,
cool would
it's
that be?
great. Check it out on Access TV. It's like just YouTube.
Yeah, I've seen it. Yeah, we share the same birthday, Sammy and I.
Really? The Samster?
10/13, man. It's
I
like
was,
October 13, and
Oh, you're-
apparently,
Really?
yeah. So apparently he has this big jam
Uh-huh.
on his birthday, and I'm like, I wanted to go there for my 50th, but didn't happen. But who knows? Maybe
I'm
next
a
year.
10/28, man.
Oh yeah.
Yeah?
Look at that.
But you're not a Scorpio.
No, Libra. Oh, you're like
I'm one of those.
you're just over the edge.
I just wrecked it there.
Yeah. No, my wife's the Scorpio.
Oh,
Is she?
okay.
Yeah, the 31st of October.
Oh, okay, we're close.
Yeah, yeah.
We're close.
I almost got that wrong, but
And it's Halloween. You can't get
yeah,
that wrong.
no.
Guys, Mario, thank you so much for coming.
Oh, my pleasure, man.
I've been waiting to do this one, and I really appreciate you coming on, playing, watching your amazing videos. Where can we find, obviously, Mario Biferali on YouTube, for sure.
Yeah, yeah.
Right?
Mario
Where
Biferali on
else?
YouTube, on Instagram, same thing.
All
you know.
under Mario Biferali?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Facebook, same thing. And
So anytime there's a new release, it's always gonna be on
I'm gonna-
YouTube, and then you're gonna say it on Facebook.
I'm gonna throw it on there.
I love it, guys. Follow Mario Biferali, Facebook, Instagram,
Yeah, Spotify, all that stuff.
Spotify,
You know.
of course. Subscribe to his channel on YouTube.
Yeah.
Let's check that out. You hear how amazing he is. You hear the playing, the singing, fantastic songs.
Well, thanks for
great
having me,
videos.
man.
Thank you so much for coming. We're
My pleasure.
definitely gonna do it again.
Awesome. Yeah, let's do it.
I'm waiting for those tracks. I'll start
Okay,
recording them.
cool.
I love it. Guys, here's another session. Thank you to our sponsors once again, Exclusive Auto Repair and Club Omo. Everyone in the back there, Lisa, Francesca, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate it.
Once again, Sessions with Stef. Every Wednesday, there's either Sessions with Stef or Let's Talk It Out. Go subscribe to both channels. Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Amazon Music, YouTube, of course. Keep them coming. Keep watching. Keep sharing. And have a good one, guys. Sessions with Stef is done.